Welcome to another Nitro Tech review. This is the Sony Xperia Neo, the Sony Ericsson Xperia Neo, and available on 2 degrees. It's an upper mid-range device, and we'll go through, first of all, a little bit of a hardware check of the device. It's got a 1 GHz Scorpion processor running on a Snapdragon chipset. It's got the Adreno 205 graphics processor in there as well, so in terms of what's packed inside, it's pretty good. Let's take a look around the device. First of all, up the top here, of course, you've got your little speaker, your earpiece, and that performs well. The X10 had problems with just the lack of volume. This has been fixed in the Neo, and it's clear and nice and loud as well. It's also got a front-facing camera, which we're really impressed to see in a mid-range device. Also, the sensors up the top here as well, ambient light and the like. 3.7-inch TFT touch screen. It's obviously not one of the latest kind of technologies, and that's because it's just a mid-range kind of device, but clarity on this is amazing. It's got a Bravia engine, so it's taking some of the Sony work that they've done on flat screen TVs and plonked it into your cell phone as well, so pretty happy with the clarity of this device, and also the pixel count as well. Very razor sharp, that particular device. 3 buttons down the bottom. These are physical buttons. You've got menu, home and back, and for some reason Sony's decided to move the back button, which is usually on the right of most devices, and put it on the left, so that takes a little bit of getting used to. Down the bottom of the device is a microphone. There's also a noise cancelling microphone over the back as well over here. Let's take a look on the side of the device. There is a power on button and also an LED there as well, which flashes for certain things, obviously charging and the like. You've got the volume rocker, and then something that we're really impressed to see on a mid-range device, and this is the camera shutter button, and the shutter button you push down halfway down for autofocus, and then the full way down for taking the photo. So really happy to see that in this device. As we take a look at the back, obviously the noise cancelling microphone. You've also got the flash in there and an 8 megapixel camera, which is going to do HD video to 720p, so very nice. The speaker on the back is loud enough to wake the dead. It's very loud indeed. There's nothing on the other side, but on the top is where things get kind of interesting as well. You've got a micro USB connector for your charger, and obviously you can connect that up to your computer to transfer stuff as well. Then you've got the 3.5mm jack, and alongside that, again, a bit of a surprise in a mid-range device, and that's HDMI out, micro HDMI out, so you can plug that into your flat screen TV, view your photos or your videos on that. So, a pretty impressive sort of device for a mid-range handset. I just wanted to compare it for you in terms of its size, and the major issue that we see just with the touch screen is the fact that if you look at a 2.8-inch device, and this is a Huawei device, if we compare the two, very similar in terms of its width there, very similar. So you're going to find that those buttons are quite difficult to press when you're in portrait mode. Take a look now at the 3.5-inch iPhone. You see that's quite a little bit wider, and the iPhone keyboard is a pretty good sort of one to compare. And if we take a look at the height on there, you'll notice that the 3.7-inch screen, where they've really gained the 3.7 inches is obviously from its widescreen aspect. It's a lot taller than a lot of other devices. In terms of its fit, it's pretty comparable in terms of its size with the iPhone. It's just in terms of the screen that it's a bit taller, but a bit thinner as well. So that's pretty much how it compares, and we're going to take a look now at the software on the device. So as we just open it up here, obviously the lock screen slightly different to what you've been used to in the past. Sony Ericsson skin all their devices, and all the skins now look the same across the Xperia range. So if you updated your X10 to gingerbread, you'll notice that this looks pretty much the same. And then obviously the Arc, the Play, all of those devices running the same similar sort of skin. So as we go into the device now, let's take a look at what we have got. We've obviously got gingerbread, and The skin here, as I say, is the same as the other devices, so when you go into the dial, it'll look very familiar to you if you've got any of the other Sony devices. It's got pretty standard sort of software implementation on it, although the app drawer is crossways rather than you going up and down. So there are some little differences here and there, but all in all, it's not going to be unfamiliar to you when you open it up. Also, we're going to go through the camera in particular, because one of the great things about this device, and it's the same with the Arc as well, is that the camera implementation is pretty amazing on this device, and certainly that's one of the main reasons that you'd want to buy it, is for its camera. Thought I'd go through a little bit of a quadrant benchmark test with you now, and a lot of people do ask, how does it perform? And I can tell you that everything's very, very snappy on this device. It performs very, very well. It goes incredibly well in terms of scrolling through things. There's no noticeable lag in there, and really when you're trying to do work on this device, you're trying to use this device, I don't think you're really going to have any problems at all. It just doesn't seem to lag whatsoever. It's a very, very nice implementation of the phone. One of the things that you might also be noticing as we're going through this test, no doubt you will have seen it before, is that the colors on here are really, really vivid. The LCD screen, while it's just an LCD, does exhibit some amazing colors, and we're really impressed with how kind of lifelike those colors do look. As I say, when you go outside, that's where the LCDs really don't perform all that well, but we're not outside all of the day, are we? So you can see that it's performed just under the Nexus 1 this time. Usually I've had it going up there just above the Nexus 1, so that's coming at 1340, so for a 1 gigahertz processor, not unhappy with that. Timescape is one of the implementations that you find on these devices, and what we've found with the widget here is that it performs really well. Still unhappy with the quality of the pictures that they put behind. However, it scrolls really, really well. The X10 wasn't so great at doing that, but this is just lightning, and it moves very, very well. Same thing with the widget here for the gallery. When you move through the gallery, it's all just silky smooth and just runs really, really well. Also, obviously that's a video in there, but if we go to one of the pictures and we throw that over to the side, again, it's kind of looking at just the implementation of the picture. It looks very, very nice. It's crisp, it's clear, and now that it's come into focus, it's looking very, very nice indeed. So again, really quite impressed with the way that this device performs. I don't think you're going to have any performance issues whatsoever. The music player, one of the things that we found with that is that it's fantastic in pulling across AAC files. The ID3 tags we've had problems with on other devices with AAC, not a problem with the Sony Ericsson device. It pulls through all that information, so kind of impressed with that. Just wanted to take you quickly through the real reason probably that you would buy one of these devices, and that's just in terms of the camera. And while on this device you know that you've got the physical key, that's I guess it's kind of uncommon, but we have seen it on other devices. The great thing about this device is that it's got a sensational sensor on it. While 8 megapixels sounds a lot, we've seen some 8 megapixel devices that just don't perform well at all. This one does. An XMOR processor in there as well, whatever that means, a sensor I should say, and that does some amazing things for this particular phone. It's great in low lighting situations, but also if you're just taking a picture really anywhere, it takes really vivid, sharp snaps. Now, it doesn't do it justice on the video, obviously, but one of the things that you'll notice is that it does take really crisp, clear photos, and they're very, very nice indeed. So just to kind of wrap up the device, obviously the screen size, if you're after a screen that's bigger, there are other devices out there that do offer that. However, this device does offer a crisp screen. It offers lots of pixels. Its resolution is very, very good as well. But the main reason that you're going to buy this is for the camera. It's got the dedicated camera button, and it's also got one of the better cameras that we've seen in a cell phone. So also you've got the 720p recording, which is also gratefully appreciated as well. So all in all, it's a pretty good device, and I think you'd be pretty happy with buying it. Its price at the moment is $749. Comparison wise, for $749 would also get you the likes of the LG Optimus Black. That's a pretty good device as well. Its camera probably wouldn't be up to par with this, and obviously it's got a bigger screen on that device as well. This is nice and easy to put in the pocket. As I say, it's an interesting style device as well, certainly different to other devices that you'd see. So that is it, the Sony Xperia Neo, and available on 2 Degrees.